G'day guys, welcome to a new video. Today, tackling the front suspension on the truck, so yeah, wish me luck. Obviously the rear end was pretty tough. Hopefully the front end won't be so bad. Prior to buying the truck, the previous owner had a lot of stuff going through in the front end, so I'm hoping that being new and having been taken apart recently, it might be a little bit easier, but fingers crossed. I think I've got everything, but there's always one thing that you miss out on. So I'll go through the parts and hopefully, hopefully that's it. And then we can just get cracking. Hope it's an easy day, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so this is everything for the front end. From CPP, we've got the drop spindles and springs. It should be around about a 4 or 5 inch drop, should level out the front quite well. We've got some new brake rotors from Custom Sports Trucks here in New South Wales. They've obviously been sitting around a little while, so I'll clean them up. But to go with those, we've got these D52 calipers from Wilwood. They're just a 2-piston GM upgrade. They're meant to bolt into the same factory location, should be no issues. Just a small upgrade. I don't have any big power in this thing at the moment, so there's no real point going for a big 4 or 6 piston, but it should do nicely. And some braided lines to go with that. Got some new ball joints, some new bearings, and those Beltex shocks to match the rear. So hopefully it should be a pretty easy job. Hopefully it should match the rear and level the truck out. And I guess we'll kick into it. Jack the truck up, put it up on stands, and we'll start disassembling, I guess. Alright, so it's a pretty simple process. Undo the shock. Undo the brakes. I mean, you don't really need to because it's all coming off anyway, but it's just easier to get it out of the way. I've already undone that nut, popped that ball joint. Have to undo this one, the one that's at the bottom of the spindle. And the scariest part is lowering the lower control arm with that spring still in place because it's under a lot of tension, so I don't want it flying anywhere. So I'll just let it down slowly with the jack and hopefully it should be all good. It's thankfully coming apart pretty easily, so I'm glad that someone's worked on this in Australia, so I know that it should be easy to keep getting everything off. So so good news, I didn't die. The spring's kind of out. Just gonna have to remove the spindle and brake assembly now, just so I can get the control arm down a little bit further so I can get the spring out. But not as bad as I thought. The top ball joint's actually in really good condition as well. Everything's well greased. So I don't even think I'll need to replace those, which is good. Just saves us a little bit of time. But yeah, overall, going well, pretty happy. So driver's side's all done now. We're over on the passenger side. So we've got the shock out, the brakes out of the way, top and bottom nuts are undone. This ball joint's already popped. I'm gonna need to get a ball joint popper to undo these and undo the bottom. But other than that, I don't want to jinx myself, but it's coming apart pretty easy. So unfortunately I have found a little bit more rust on the crossmember, the front crossmember, than I expected. It's all surface and it's all that stupid rubberized undercoating again. So I'm just going to end up scraping it all off, and I'll just spray it with some Chassis Black, and it'll do for now. In the end, I'm going to end up replacing all of this with brand new stuff when I airbag it anyway, so it's not a big concern. There's no big holes or anything like that, so it's all about preventative stuff at this point, and we'll just get it looking all nice and tidy and hopefully protected. So we've been pretty successful so far. New springs in, new spindles on, cleaned up the dust shield, so it's in ready to go. We've got new bearings, new seals on the new rotor. All the bearings are packed, ready to assemble. So you can see some legs over there. Justin's come over to give me a hand. And thankfully we've been pretty successful. So knock it all back together and show you what it looks like when it's all done. So like everything, there's always one thing that stitches you up in the end, and this was brake lines. I ordered some brand new braided brake lines, thought they were the right size. Turns out they were the wrong length, but I'll get some ordered up and we'll get that one sorted. That's pretty easy. The only other thing is the Wilwood calipers. They don't fit under the factory wheels. No big deal because I've got new wheels, but it is a bit of annoying. But ready to lower it back on the ground now and see what it looks like. It's pretty low. Yeah, it's pretty fat. I like that.
Even for
So I'm pretty happy. It definitely looks really good. It's kind of exactly how I wanted it to look. Yes, obviously a few things are going to get sorted. So the rear bump stops, I've ordered some new bump stops, some bolt-in ones. So get those sorted. Get those factory ones chopped out. In the front, I've got to get some new brake lines sorted. Whether I buy some or make some, I'm not sure yet, but I'll work that out. Then just get my wheels either powder coated or painted. I've got to decide exactly what I'm doing there. And once that's done, throw them on and yeah, we're looking pretty good. Definitely, yeah, come along. Justin's a massive help today. We got a lot done. Instead of, you know, the front taking 3 days like the back did, we got it done in a couple of hours. So I was definitely happy about that. For the rest of the truck, it's stereo, got to get that done, and bit of painting, bit of touch up, a couple of things here and there, but for the most part we're looking pretty good. Yeah, kind of can't wait for it to be done, but oh, I'm so happy. It looks so good. So that'll be it for this video, guys. Thanks very much. I'll catch you later.